like fall bucket list things. This one is just on my top list. A chocolate caramel pretzel bark. Yum. Hello and welcome back to another video. Today is Thursday and we are going to be starting this little vlog, little weekend vlog. Tonight I'm kind of doing some kind of like fall bucket list things, but also like fall evenings in the life, because I'm gonna film this evening, I'm gonna film Friday evening. But every single year for like summer, fall, winter, I always have like fall bucket list, Christmas bucket list, even summer bucket lists, and I like to be very seasonal. And like right now my categories are make, which is like air fryer s'mores was one of them. I'm gonna do another recipe probably this weekend. And then my fall cake that I want to make that I mentioned in last week's vlog. And then always a watch category. So like what movies I want to watch. So I've already been watching some of those, like the Harry Potters. I watched like Halloween Town, some of like the older Disney throwbacks. And then a do category. So fall shopping last weekend was like one of those. And then my fall puzzle is another one. I love doing like a seasonal puzzle, so I'm starting that this evening. So this vlog is kind of chipping away at some more cozy little fall things. I'm starting now because it's like 5:45 and I am ready for dinner, and nothing screams fall more to me than my chili and cornbread. I make it every year, I make it every fall, and so I actually already made this yesterday and filmed it for another video that I'm going to be doing where I compile some of my favorite like fall and winter recipes, so be on the lookout for that video. But I've already made my cornbread, made my chili, so we're gonna eat some dinner first. Classic chili and cornbread. That is one of my other like make lists, is the chili and cornbread for the fall. So checking that one off the list. So step one, let's eat some chili and cornbread. Next on the fall bucket list is You've Got Mail. I'm gonna go ahead and start it on my laptop because after I finish my dinner, I'm gonna spread out my puzzle here and watch it on my laptop anyways. So time for some chili and watch my movie and do my puzzle. The next step had to be change into cozy pants for puzzling time. So out of the jeans, into the sweatpants. Now I gotta find my puzzle. It's somewhere in here. Found my puzzle. I got this one last fall, this little fall cabin one. It's so cute. I think I'm going to end it here. I finished the frame. That's always key. Step one, finish the frame. And then I started working on a little canoe that I think is in here, and then kind of just putting like colors together a little bit. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and shower, get ready for bed, and then we'll continue this in the morning. Good morning and happy Friday. We are going to start off the morning with another little fall coffee, and then I think I'm gonna run some errands a little bit later, and then tonight we're gonna have another little cozy evening with some sort of dessert. I haven't decided what I'm going to make yet, and then a movie with Ryan again, but we're gonna eat some breakfast and make our coffee. Okay, we're gonna run some errands this morning. I know this isn't fitting with the fall bucket list or fall evening theme, but we do need to go to Sprouts to get a few ingredients for this evening for a new gluten-free, dairy-free dessert that I'm gonna try out, so I can share that with you guys. Hopefully it's good. But I need to go to Target, Sprouts, Kroger for Ryan, and then the vet to pick up some dog food for Heidi, and then the rest of the day I need to edit tomorrow's vlog. But I'm gonna go into Target first because I'm going to look for some new Maybelline like lip oil gloss stain thing that I've seen a few people try out, and they look really nice. I'm not really a lipstick person. I always feel like I don't really look like myself with a full lip on, so I normally stick to more of like the lip gloss department, and right now I don't have any lip products besides chapstick, so I figured it was time to re-up the lipstick lip gloss department. For now, we're gonna go into Target, see if we can find these little lip gloss things. I think it was called Lifter Glaze Oil Balm, but I got two colors based on what I saw people trying. So I'm normally kind of like a light pink gal naturally. I don't, like I said, I don't go for like bold lips or things like that because I don't feel like it's very me. But then I saw someone try, it looks like a deep color, but then when it actually goes on, since it's an oil, I think it actually goes on pretty nice pink color. So let's see what we're working with. I'm gonna do this one on the top. Okay, so this one is just on my top lip. I feel like it almost matches my natural like bottom lip, so that one could work since it's kind of already my color. Let's do the bottom one. Bottom lip is just this color, but I feel like kind of just makes my natural color look a little bit glossy. I think I like it. I think I like both of them. And they're not sticky. I hate any sort of lip gloss or anything that feels sticky, but these feel pretty nice. They are oily, which is kind of nice. What do we think? I don't know if I needed both because I feel like they almost both have the same color effect. Like the darker one's on top, but I feel like you can't really tell the difference. The darker one's Rose Bite, and this one doesn't have a thing. I think it was like drip pink or pink drip, something like that. All right, let's go into Sprouts. Okay, confession time. I did my errands, and by the end of my errands, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go to Target and return both of those lip oils because as I drove around, my mouth tastes like crayon, and I hate that. And I was like, is it worth it? Like I just spent $16 to get two of those, and I was like, like it'll be fine, as I was going around doing my errands. And I was like, maybe I'll just return one of them since like the colors are very similar. And then I was like, no, I hate that my mouth tastes like crayon. So I just returned both of them and then just restocked my tried and true. This is like the one lip gloss that I've been getting for like a couple years. It's NYX Butter Gloss, the shade Creme Brulee. And this one's not sticky, and this one doesn't taste disgusting. So this one is the one that's almost out, which is why I got the other two, because this is basically like dried up at this point and needs to be chunked in the trash. So we're back to this one because I know it's not gross and I like it and I like the shade. And this is exactly why I'm not a beauty channel and I'm not a beauty guru, because normally makeup annoys me and you have to go through so much trial and error to find stuff and spend the money and try it on and then return it, and it's a pain. I wish so desperately that I was one of those girls that loved makeup, found joy in makeup, thought it was fun, because like makeup's a big part of girlhood. And I do not. Okay, y'all saw my lip gloss. And then tonight for our new gluten-free, dairy-free dessert we're trying out, it's going to be a chocolate caramel pretzel like bark. So I already had all the ingredients for dairy-free caramel, which is sugar, coconut milk, and dairy-free butter. I already had that for the caramel. So I just needed to get some chocolate chips and the pretzels. And then I swung by Kroger to get chocolate milk for Ryan, because right now they're having like customer appreciation and these were free because he specifically requested this. So Ryan has a gallon of chocolate milk to drink. And then the vet for Heidi's dog food. I will check back in with you guys this evening when I make the bark for dessert and we watch a little movie and whatnot. So I'll check back in with you guys later. Okay, Ryan and I ate dinner, so the chili and cornbread again, and started Harry Potter, but I paused the movie, same as last weekend. Paused the movie to make our dessert. So today is a new recipe. It looks really good, but I've never made it before, so we'll see how this turns out. So the easiest part, we're gonna start with that first. So what you need is a bag of dairy-free chocolate chips, some gluten-free pretzels, and you're supposed to have parchment paper, but I realized I'm out of that. So I am using a little silicone baking mat for this. What we're gonna do first is melt the chocolate chips. I am going to melt the whole bag full of chocolate chips, and I normally use, whenever I'm melting chocolate chips, I normally use like a tablespoon of coconut oil just to make it a little bit extra creamy and smooth. So we're gonna melt that. Normally I do 30 seconds stir and then another 30 seconds when I'm melting chocolate chips. So we're gonna melt the chocolate, pour it on the silicone mat or parchment paper, and then you just pour the pretzels on top of the chocolate while it's still like hot and melted. And then while that sits on the counter, I'm going to make the homemade dairy-free caramel sauce. I hope that turns out okay because I've never made that before, but I'm following a recipe I found on Pinterest. So then once the caramel sauce is done, you pour it over the pretzel and chocolate mixture, and then you just sit it in the fridge or freezer for a few minutes just to harden up until you can crack it like bark. For the caramel mixture, you need 1 cup of sugar, 3/4 cup of coconut milk, and then 3 tablespoons of vegan butter. A few things with this that this recipe says is you do want the coconut milk to be from a can, which is normally what I do anyways, because the ones in the store that are in like a carton are normally more watered down. So the canned coconut milk is normally like the more full fat, creamy version. So you want a canned coconut milk, and you want it to be room temperature. Apparently that's very important for caramel, same as the butter. So you want the butter and coconut milk to be room temperature. So let's get started. Hopefully this turns out good. Okay, I've made the executive decision to screw the caramel. This is way too much of a pain. First batch ended up crystallizing, and I couldn't figure out why, so then I Googled why sugar crystallizes in caramel sauce, and Google said not to stir it, and that like it does that if you like disturb it while it's trying to melt. But the recipe I was following said stir constantly, so I was stirring constantly, and it made it turn the sugar into like hard bricks. So I had to dump sugar batch number 1 is on the counter, and then the recipe said saucepan, so I chose a saucepan because this is what she used. But then I feel like it was so much sugar that it wasn't melting evenly, so then the second batch I put in here, and it did start to melt evenly, and for a second I thought it was going to be good, but then it got too hot and then it burned immediately, and I guess didn't time it right. So this is a no. Caramel's a no-go for me. So I had saved some extra chocolate to drizzle on top of the caramel, but we're not doing caramel, so I just drizzled the rest of the chocolate onto the pretzel, and we're just gonna do a chocolate pretzel bark because that's gonna be just as yummy anyways, and caramel and me do not mix apparently. So this is gonna go in the freezer for like maybe 5-10 minutes until this gets hard, and then we're gonna crack it. But yeah, I literally think I've stood over the stove for 40 minutes trying to get sugar to melt properly, so it's a no for me. Okay, it's probably been in there like 15 minutes or more than that, so this is all hardened, so I'm gonna go ahead and crack it and then keep watching our movie. Okie dokie, and she's done. I think I will love this because I love chocolate covered pretzels in general. Yum. But then I also love doing like peppermint bark when it's Christmas time, so I feel like this is a good fall option to do chocolate pretzel bark in the fall. Hello, it's the next day. So a happy Saturday. If anything goes with the fall theme, it's college football. So if you didn't know this or you're new around here, Ryan and I both went to the University of Georgia. So we're both big Georgia Bulldogs fans. And today we play Alabama, which is always a question mark team for us. But we've had a chill morning. We loved the pretzel bark last night. Ryan and I were sitting there just kind of like mindlessly eating it, watching Harry Potter. And Ryan was like, are we about to eat this whole thing? And I was like, no, we need to put it away because we were just like downing it. So it was very yummy. I feel like I have to try caramel again at some point. But last night, while I was like trying to also watch a movie, was not the time to experiment with the caramel sauce, but I don't want to be defeated. So one of these days I'm going to try it again when I have more time to actually like really focus on it. But we're not doing much the rest of the day. I've been sitting here working on my puzzle if you want to see my puzzle progress. Here's my puzzle progress. Today alone, I've like connected it from like one side to the other. So it is coming along, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and call it a video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.